The views expressed in this video presentation are my opinions and not necessarily the opinions of guests and others sharing or reposting this video. The content is produced only for educational and informational purposes. Do not regard any statement in this video as a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. Investing comes with risk to loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and seek guidance from a professional investment advisor. I am not a professional investment advisor. I am Dollar Will. We're going to do a little bit of crypto charting today. Once I get my chart set up. Now, y'all hear me picking on the hodlers. Just know I am not anti any investment vehicle. I'm anti hodling. I'm anti any position that says don't learn. So I'm pro learning. That's what I am. I'm pro learning. And hodling is either ignoring that there are ways to understand. I have a better idea, a very good idea of what I'm not exact, but too close to ignore. Very good ideas to figure out where price is going to help you manage risk. There's no reason to sit in the trade while it loses money for a long period of time, calling it hodling. That's unforgivable in the information age, inexcusable. Okay, you must learn. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go on, and y'all can catch this on the replay. First, a little technical thing here. I'm having some computer issues. On screen, pay attention to the crosshair, not necessarily the hand on the screen. So we got Ethereum up here first, and let's deal with it just because it's here. Now I can look at it in candles, but sometimes I like just the simplicity of a line chart. Okay. Consider joining my Patreon to get individual and group training. It's the lowest price you're going to find. Click on the link, go to the site, see how much or how little. All right, we got a typical Elliott wave pattern here, counter trend pattern, okay? And then after that known pattern, you typically get some degree of a retrace. It's not the same amount every time, okay? Typically, you give back about half of the loss, sometimes more, okay? There's no way to know exactly how much of the loss you're going to get back beforehand. That's not knowable, okay? So at a minimum, we should come to this area, and that's the 50% area. And that would, and along the way to getting there, we have another common pattern in Elliott wave theory. And I break all this down more specifically on the Patreon, and I repeat the process over and over with chart analysis of cryptocurrencies, the major indexes, Forex, pairs, you name it. Doesn't matter what it is. Everything moves in a same kind of predictable set of ways. Price can only go up, down, or sideways. And human beings are creatures of habit, and so there's certain patterns that we involuntarily create. You know, we are pack animals, right? So technical analysis and Elliott wave theory, which is my particular primary camp that I subscribe to, recognizes that there's an intersection between sociology and economics, and shows itself in the way that prices trend or don't trend. Okay, but in either case, there's a set of predictable patterns that price makes, and you need to learn that. All right, so once we finish this move here to this area where the price, if you think about it, the price, if I can draw a line here connecting these lows, you see the price gave way right there. Well, we're going back up to that area, okay? And I think then we're going to roll over and go lower. Now, the problem is if we go lower, let's say the geometric amount, I'll say the Fibonacci extension that's common, that would call for us to fall below zero, fall off the page. The alternative to that is if we come here to this level, have a little pullback, and then go even higher. And by this recoil, let's say all this was the wave down, this is the recoil or the retrace. By this retrace being greater, say 75% in that area, likely I'd be interested to see if it, I'm not saying that it will come up here. I'm not saying that. I'm making a counter argument to my primary position. Elliott wave theory, you have to argue against yourself, okay? Because, like I said, it's a set of things that price can do. It's not one pattern all the time. The most common move that we can expect would be a retrace to about here and then go lower. But like I said, the next price target, if we go lower, is below zero. Okay. And that has to be considered, that this could go to nothing, because the big picture forecast for, at least my big picture forecast for the US dollar, is that the dollar will go significantly higher. And the dollar strength weakens Bitcoin. So you're looking at, I'm sorry, this is Ethereum. So this weakens Ethereum or any currency traded or paired against it. So that would go for the euro also, the Swiss franc, the British pound, so crypto and all the other cryptocurrencies. This is the most common thing that we can expect. But if it was to go here and pull back and go higher, that would actually be good, because it would set the target for the low to come here. Like if it came here and failed and dropped, I'd look for it to come to this area back in March of 2020. It's like 70 under $80, put it that way. Which is light years away from 1500. Okay. So that alone tells you why, you want to learn something like technical analysis. You want to know that, once it gets here, this is a danger point. Let it pull back and let it save itself. I'm sitting out on the porch, y'all, enjoying a nice breeze in the shade, drinking lemonade. Okay, so you're going to hear hot rodders and everything. Okay, but but the first area where the price could get have some resistance. Okay, see some danger. The area of concern. Okay, well, for the price in Ethereum is here. So let me move on to Bitcoin. I'm gonna talk about Shiba Inu last. It's the star here today. today is the star. All right, so this is Bitcoin. This is the 50% area if it was to retrace half. But this little move here is so shallow since June, has me concerned that we might not get here. So the area of concern about Bitcoin is right here, where when it gets right to this point where the price fell off. I see a pretty clear path for it to get up to that area. From 19,000-ish to 29, that's not bad. That's a good little run. But we'll have to see what it does when it gets there. You know, it could get there, pull back. We have to see how long that pullback is. And shallow pullbacks take a particular shape. So in the technical analysis world, the Elliott wave theory world, we'll kind of have a clue if it's going to hold based on how it's moving. Okay. But there's nothing else to say about it until we get to that area. But I will say I don't think it's falling off the floor right here. I think that we're headed higher. Momentum suggests that we head higher too. All right, so that's all we can say. Once we get here, it should have a little pullback, or a pullback. We'll see how aggressively it is. But if, for me and mine, if I owned it, I'd be selling it once it got to that area. And on the as far as Ethereum goes, in the area I pointed out there, and just in full disclosure, I am not trading cryptocurrencies in terms of coins, but I am actively trading Ethereum in the futures market. Okay, Ethereum futures is what I'm trading, and I am currently long as of this morning, around noon-ish, long Ethereum. Okay, to go to that area that I discussed. Go back to it. This thing was confusing, but I was long this morning. A little after it hit this bottom here and started going up, I got in. And I got my little stop loss right here. One reason why I like the futures as opposed to owning the coin is I can get in and out quicker. Okay, I can get in and out quicker, and the transaction fee to get in and out is less small. Okay, so we got one more swing, you know, up to this area, and I'll be getting out once we get up to this area right here, where just before the price took off, I'll be looking to get out. So just know, when I say don't hodl, it's not because I'm against crypto. I'm against mindlessness. Okay, I'm pro education. All right, let's go to Shiba. Okay, let me see. They don't put it up here like they should. It's here. I don't want that source. I just saw it. You take that. Wow, they're playing games with me. Okay. There you go. There's another one. I want this one. Investing.com. Okay. Got that familiar pattern coming down. To retrace half of the loss would be kind of way up here. Okay. So it's got a long way to go. I don't think it's going to get there. I think it's got one more swing up that's similar to this. And it's got a danger spot right in here where prices sold off before. I'd be very concerned. In the futures world, we can just put a stop loss and get out. Now it's like you can't move as fast with the crypto coins. So if I was trading the coin itself, I wouldn't wait until it got to the ideal area. Okay. So once you get up to this area, you need to look at some recent lows. So like the lows of some candles, and make a mental note that, hey, if it gets up here and it starts taking out the lows of recent candles, that's danger. But as for me, I would get out up here. I just get out. I get out. Because I think this thing has more to go. But in either case, even if it is going to approach the 50% area, it's like these highs here and this low here. Even if it does that, when we get here in that area, the price is likely going to be in need of a pullback anyway. So it could go there, pull back, and run. But, we'll see. I think it's going to dump. But, we'll see when we get there. I want to see what this price, what this game is. If it does just the 50% retrace, we're talking about like let's say 80%, a little more than 80%. That's a nice gain. If it does a 50% retrace, if it gets here and makes it up to the 50% retrace point, man, we're talking 248%. That's man. That might be worth. That's why I said this one I want to talk about last, because this move is serious. Because once it gets here, if it looks like if it has a shallow pullback, and it's talking about running harder, that way that this is too much gain to walk away from. If it gets up in this area and then keeps going stronger, then I would definitely be of the opinion that it's going to have a pullback and likely come up to here. But this is a lot of money. It's a lot of scratch, especially like in the futures market. If you're trading a futures contract, and let's say that contract represents like $100,000, that's $250,000 move. Wow, that's serious. I got nothing else to say. Drinking my lemonade in the shade. I'm gonna look and see who's rocking with me. I don't think nobody. Everybody's dealing with typical, Manosphere doing his thing right about now. And I'm gonna sign off. Happy trading. Post me on your Facebook. Help me get over that 1,000 mark, y'all. Peace.